ESPN reports the Steelers have told interested teams that a deal is expected to be in place by tomorrow. A deal can't become official until next week, but the Steelers are reportedly looking for a first-round pick. Brown has an NFL record 6 straight 100-catch seasons, but he'll also turn 31 in July. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst D'Angelo Hall. D'Angelo, would you give up a first-rounder for AB?
Oh, man. Knowing how great a player AB is and how hard he works, I would.
Okay.
But knowing the off-field issues that come with AB and the kind of locker room I need to have to include him in that locker room, I probably wouldn't. And so, it takes a special locker room and a special team to embrace a guy like Antonio Brown. You don't want impressionable young guys in that room. You want guys who are kind of already somewhat accomplished so that they aren't trying to be like him when it comes to the off-the-field antics. On the field, there isn't a harder guy who works as hard as AB. I've seen him training. I went against him. I mean, some of the things he's able to do at the size he has and just his God-given ability, it's unnatural. It's kind of like Steve Smith. When you see a little guy like Steve Smith, you don't expect him to play as hard as he play or, present the kind of challenges they present. But, man, Antonio Brown is a different kind of beast.
Go deeper into that. How hard was he to cover? Why was he hard? Quickness or speed, or both?
It's quickness. It's quickness and a little bit of speed. Obviously, he's a lot faster than you think.
He didn't time fast.
No, he didn't time fast.
4.57, I think.
And that's why I tell guys, even with, on the back end of this combine, a lot of people get so caught up in combine numbers. It doesn't matter if a guy runs 4.3 if you see him on a football field and he looks like he runs 4.6.
Exactly.
And the opposite of that, it doesn't matter if a guy runs 4.6 or 4.57 in Antonio Brown when you put him out there against a 4.2, 4.3 corner and he can still beat him every single time, getting in and out of his breaks or even just beating him, being able to set him up and run routes. And so some of the things he'll be able to teach everybody else when it comes to his work ethic and things on the field, he's absolutely worth that, and the impact that he's able to.
So you're giving up a first rounder for him?
It depends. Not a top 15 pick. To me, it has to be one of those picks in the 22 to 32 range where it almost kind of feels like a second-round pick, But, I mean, he is a beast. He is a beast. But I think a lot of things that are kind of coming to light now is kind of like, man, I don't know if we can deal with the off-the-field things that kind of encompass AB.
No. I'm not giving him a first-round pick. On the field, Skip, he's worth their first-round pick. The Dallas Cowboys gave up a first-round pick for Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper cannot hold a candle to AB.
Well, he can hold a candle.
He can't hold a candle.
I'm not saying he's better, but he can hold a candle.
He can't hold a candle.
I don't even know what that means, hold a candle.
He can't
He can run along with him and hold
That means you ask 10 DBs who they want to cover, AB or Amari Cooper.
I want Amari in my locker room. I want him in my huddle. I want him vibing with my QB. That's what I want.
Now, Amari ain't going to be screaming and hollering and causing no trouble, though. That's one thing
That's
about
what
Amari.
I just said.
Dallas gave up a first-round pick for Amari. And if AB, first of all, if AB didn't have this baggage, AB would not be on the market. Let's just go ahead and say that.
He's got 3 years left on his deal.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
We would not, let me ask you a question. Yeah. We would not even be having this discussion. Julio Jones, you give him a first-rounder pick? You give him a first-rounder for Julio? You giving up a first-rounder for D-Hop? Because these are the 3 guys that we think are universally regarded as the best receivers. No questions asked.
Absolutely.
You give that up. But knowing that not only am I going to trade and give up a first-round pick, I'm going to have to pay him. Because if I don't give him guaranteed money, he's made it abundantly clear. If you don't give me guaranteed money, it's going to be a problem, D-Hall. You know that. So I already know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
And I know that he can't go back into Pittsburgh after all that commotion. Why would I give you a first rounder when I know he can't go back? I'm starting off with a third. Well, if you want him so much, keep him. You can keep him. and AB is unbelievable because there's a difference between being fast and playing fast or looking fast.
Okay.
AB doesn't look that fast, but what he has is phone booth quickness. That start and stop, because you miss him, it's over.
I got that, but to your point, I saw him run by a bunch of people last year. I mean, he can still go right by you.
Yeah. The biggest,
it's not just in the phone booth.
But see, my only problem is with AB being 31, like you talked about D-Hop and who else did you say?
Julio.
And Julio. Julio, what? It's 30, 29?
29, probably possibly.
You know,
30.
D-Hop, what, 26, 27? So, you know, they got a couple fewer years on AB. If AB was 28, 29, Shannon, I think I'm going to take him. I'm going to give up the one, and we just going to figure out a way to make this guy.
Who your quarterback?
I don't know. I don't know what team I'm running right now. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what team I'm running. I don't know what locker room I got, but I know I want winners, and I want guys who care about winning and making plays. And I know
Two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback.
No, you're
a
right.
coach that's been there 12, 13 years, and they couldn't control
The
it.
grass is not always green on the other side. And what AB is going to find out, which is what Larry said. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree with what Larry said, but it's a little bit of, you know, it's a little bit of truth to that because you mess around and look, you don't know how good you had it. Now you go over here to this quarterback who can't seem to find you, or when he's finding you, it's behind you and it's getting picked and you getting blamed. And it's going to be interesting because AB was right there going to get his gold jacket in about 4 or 5 years when his career was over, I felt like. Now it's kind of like, all right, the first half of his career was amazing. I say first half, 8, 9 years. To be a Hall of Famer, it is the full body. And so it's not just what you did in Pittsburgh the first 8, 9 years. You got to be able to finish that thing up. And he has about 3 or 4 more years that he has to finish up. And if he doesn't land in the right spot, he might have just jeopardized his gold jacket.
Okay. I got to backtrack before I get to my point about AB. Jerry Jones stole Amari Cooper for a first-round pick. Yeah, I would have given a first and a fourth for Amari Cooper because that's how valuable he was to my football team. And if you remember Thanksgiving Day against your former team, the Redskins, just go look up those numbers.
He lit it up.
Oh, he lit it up. He lit your guys up.
What about the
And
last?
I loved it.
What about
I
the
loved it.
last month of the season?
Yeah, I loved it.
I mean, everybody thought Dallas overpaid because that deal was about to get done with other teams. And then Dallas just came and jumped in and said, we'll give you one.
He's gold.
When everybody else was
gold.
a lot lower value for that.
I'm with you. Gold was jacket on Antonio Brown for about 8 years. And then he went live on Facebook after they won a playoff game at Kansas City in the cold, and he went flat out live while his coach was speaking over his shoulder. You could actually see over his shoulder. The coach, you could hear every word that Mike Tomlin was uttering, supposedly in private, to his team. And he was taking a shot at the New England Patriots, who are next on the schedule because they're going to have to go to New England and play the AFC Championship game.
That's correct.
Remember? And those, you know what's got a head start on us. Remember that?
Yep.
And I'm sure that went right up on that bulletin board in that locker room. And that was like a breaking point for me, and I think for you. Because you said that's it. You just broke the unbreakable rule, right?
I'm out.
And you said there's no way you're going to give him that money, and they gave him his money. And there's still 3 years left on that deal. So to me, my conclusion right now, after all the off-field that you talked about, that starts to scare you, if not haunt you, you would have to give me a third-round pick to take him off your hands for that cap hit. It's $22.1 million, and he's going to want to restructure, meaning I want more up front, right?
More up front guaranteed money.
So he wants really a new deal on top of this deal.
You need game 17. You need to win week 17. You need to win that game and hope Cincinnati can beat Baltimore. And this dude goes to the head coach. Coach, I'm a little sore this week.
And coach said,
well, go ahead. Well, go home.
Go home.
Yeah. Then you have your agent call him on Saturday. Oh, I'm good to go.
No, he called him on Sunday morning and said he's going to show up.
Ready.
Show up to do what? Show up to do what? Is that what you want on your team?
Coach, I done been in this offense for 9 years, man. I'm good. I know what I'm doing.
And you ain't come the whole week?
I know what I'm doing.
All I know is the coach is like, I've never heard this before, but it just shows you where Mike Tomlin was with Antonio. He had done. He had seen. Now, Antonio didn't get like this in 2018.
Yeah.
This has been brewing.
It's been a process.
This has been brewing. He's been missing practice and skipping meeting. And Coach Mike Tomlin, I keep telling you, either you coach this or you condone this. Either way, you accepted this. You do. And so now, you know what happens. If you give a clown money, what he do? He buy more makeup and become a bigger clown. If Antonio Brown acted a fool with $3-4 million, what you thought he was gonna do with 12-14? D-Hall, you done been around enough guys. You know, D-Hall's eating days.
I know.
You know what they're gonna do.
You know, if hypothetically I could put him in your Ravens locker room, maybe.
Okay. I guarantee you that would have never happened.
Okay.
Never, ever, ever. I'm glad I had to leave D Hall, because I came up under the old guard. There's a way you did things.
So when you said it would have never happened, you mean just going live in the locker room?
That'd never happen.
I mean, that's a new age kind of thing, though. So I don't think that would have happened.
Behavior on the sideline would have never happened because when he was young, and the first time we'd have stepped to it.
That's interesting.
Hey, Sharpe, you ain't never flushed no coach out?
Huh? No.
Never?
When I went to Baltimore, because everybody knew how to deal with me. I took and Brian Billick, I guess, because he had to deal with Chris and Randy and some other guys. I said, look, coach, you can coach me hard, but you can't curse me. I said, my grandmother never cursed me. I said, coach me. Tell me when I'm wrong. You want to show stuff that I did in the game? Tell me I'm wrong. I got no problem, but you can't curse me. AB came with that as a rookie. Second year, we're gonna put him and say, AB, look here, bro. This is how we do things. I understand that you want balls, but Ed, Rod, and myself, we working hard just as you. Now the next time, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a real problem.
Okay, but you guys basically policed your own locker room.
That's how the locker room's supposed to be.
Supposed to go.
I'm not supposed to have to go to Mike and say, Mike, he's doing this. I'm not supposed to go to Brian Billick and say, in Baltimore, he's doing that. We handle that. You messing up us.
I got you. So who in the Pittsburgh locker room was supposed to say no to Antonio?
It's supposed to have been Ben. You would have liked to think that, look, I understand. Look, receivers want the ball. Everybody
the
wants the ball.
problem is Ben has a hard time saying no to Ben. You know, like he has a hard
Ben is the worst leader, so you can't get any leadership from that.
Yeah.
But they started getting rid of those guys. The Troy Polamalu's left, the Joey Porter's left, the Alan Faneca's left, the Hans Vogt.
Ryan Clark.
Right, yeah, those guys. And so now you see the success.
Yeah.
It's the dude, he upset because someone else was voted MVP and caught more passes than him.
Yeah.
So he make it seem like Juju went out there practicing and working.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? Bro, you caught 112, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns, and he complaining. How do I make him happy, D Hall? He made 21. He made 21. Made 21 million last year. Made 21 million, caught 100 balls for 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns, and he still ain't happy. So what can I do to make him happy?
And then he complained the other day that to ESPN that the owner never knew the name of his girlfriend. Okay,
Mr. Bowler, that's it. No, now position coaches normally know. My position coach, Les Steckel, in '93, he called me, Skip, every one of my kids. My kids were like 1, 2 years old when he coached me. Every year on their birthday.
Wow.
He still called me.
Okay.
That's really nice.
To this day.
Okay.
My birthday. He calls me sweetheart. That's what he still called me.
Okay.
What do you think?
Position coach.
That was my position coach.
I got it.
The way you actually think I thought that Mr. B at Denver and Art Modell with the Ravens were going to know my girlfriend's name, D Hall. Really?
No.
I bet they did, though.
No, they didn't.
For what we're talking about? For the wrong reason?
Oh,
No. I'm just saying in general, because when you have a great player, you want to try to create that,
Normally that's quarterbacks. Get the owners, they know
I
the
was going to
wives.
say now, I know every quarterback has definitely, hey, how you doing there?
Yeah,
hey,
but that's a different dynamic.
I feel you, but I'm just saying, AB thinks he's a he wants to be treated like that.
That is true.
I don't have to team
Because
my teammates.
he's a star. When you're a star, though, you don't care. You want to be positionless. So it doesn't matter. If Ben's getting this kind of respect because he's the quarterback, I want to walk around here and feel the same way, though.
You knew all the great players on your team's girlfriend? Nah. Exactly. Now, you went in the locker room every day.
Nah.
And you think that man got so much more on his mind?
Nah, you're right. You're absolutely
Seems like a
right.
big commitment to know everyone.
It is a huge commitment.
And then he was talking about being in my house one time. I ain't never been to John's house. I've never been to one quarterback house I played with. Not one. High school, college, NFL, not one.
Like you can be
It's different. It's different
is
though
that your
now.
fault or their fault?
It's different now though, Shannon. Shannon keep going back when he played.
But you're
it's
closer
different
to
now.
it.
Now
You've
is a
seen it.
lot. Yeah, now is a lot different. We have outings at guys' houses
Okay.
and we hang out and we
Tell
try
me about
to
it.
create that camaraderie and that team building.
Tell me about it.
I know we ain't help us win no games though, did it?
Okay. D'Angelo, thank you for joining us today. Speaking of team camaraderie, are the Celtics actually better without Kyrie? We'll discuss all that next.